And we're live. Oh, I'll ask you in a few seconds. Hey guys, welcome to this Thursday. It is 7:03 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's time for that time of the week. It is RC Drift Talk. We got Logan back, we got DJ back, and we got Kari and Brian here from the north. They just got back from Japan. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about where they come from and all that other fun stuff. News and events really quickly here. Really, the only thing that I have to announce is Saturday, April 26th. It is round one of STC Oregon. So if you're here, if you're in Oregon, come and hang out, do some competing. Should be pretty epic. And yeah. I'll have like my battle station of streaming gear there, so I'll have my corner. Ben's gonna be commentating. I might need camera hands, so if you feel volunteering, like you want to volunteer, come see me. If you have a good tracking cars on a track, I need that help. And yeah. Anything else, Logan, as far as calendar?
Well, first of all, I'm excited to finally go to battle. You know, we've been watching all these other regions do their comps. I think a lot of them are already on like round 3. So
Finished with round 3.
Yeah. So I'm excited to get back to the competitive season. It's been a long off season, but you know, should be fun. Get that going again. Coming off a win in our last round last year, so we got to keep that going.
Right on.
We finally dropped the event for Drift to Death, to Drift to Death, as it is so titled. You can catch that, you know, that's on Facebook. So look out for that on my Instagram or on Facebook. If we're not friends, I didn't send you an invite, but hopefully we can all navigate to figure that out.
I'm not
it's there somewhere.
No.
Look up the Drift PDX page, it's on there. So yeah, we got a 3-day event. That's going to be August. I already forgot the dates. It's August 8th through the 10th. 3 days. We're opening at 2 p.m. on Friday, and then we're just going to drive until probably Sunday around 5 p.m.
Why so early on Sunday?
I mean, I'm going to be ready to dip. I think, you know, those of us that are kind of operating the track for 3 days will be ready to go home after that Sunday. Special guest Miko Yang in the chat. He will be coming out to join us, so get a chance to come hang out with Miko and drive with Miko. That's gonna be cool. We got a lot of people from out of town already coming out, so it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, Miko, you got some we got work to do, so be ready.
It's a podcast, so
all right. Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. It's pretty close to the airport. How far away is the airport from Drift PDX?
Like a 10-15 minute.
Yeah, so just fly on in. It's Oregon, it's Portland. You can feel safe there, kind of. And well, like honestly, if you need a ride, if I'm already there, I will come and pick you up. I'm sure others will have that
anyone
ability
traveling, we'll definitely, we have a lot of people that can help out, you know, toting people around and stuff, so no worries there.
And then while you're there, everything is just like a quick reach. Adam will be your Uber.
Yeah, like where the track is, between the airport and the track is a road. There's there's Alberta area, which is pretty nice for, you know, food and stuff, and then there's Mississippi Avenue, which is also another nice kind of urban area to get lots of Portland food options, so it's a good spot.
Yep, you can keep Portland weird.
Yeah, you can do that.
Chris, how many people can I fit in my car? Maybe 3.
Oh, we know it's 4. It's 3 additional, including him. We already bottomed that bitch out with 4 people.
Yeah, it hurt my soul ever so much. Anyway, Joey, we will leave at 2 a.m. to get there at 2 p.m. That hurts my soul. I'm sorry.
That's perfect, dude. I don't see the issue with that. Kari's gonna have to leave at freaking 11 o'clock, dude.
Oh, Kari, you coming?
We're gonna try to do it, I think.
Oh, right on. Right
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Might be better for us to do Port Angeles ferry.
Right.
Okay.
I've been there. I've been on that ferry.
All right. So yeah, let's get right to it. Ooh, actually, let me do the thing here. You guys bringing the RV down?
It's up to Brian.
Yeah. It's definitely handy. You got somewhere to park it?
Actually,
No.
That could be arranged. I'm sure we can figure that out.
yeah, no, it. I think Judd was joking about it, but
Yeah.
it could potentially be possible since it is over the weekend.
Right.
Yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible. We got enough people. We can make anything happen.
I mean, I would just fear for the RV like at nighttime. Yeah.
Yes, Adam Hokoki, Dr. H. We are drifting until we die. That's the whole point. You stand there and you drive until you literally drop dead. We didn't have any fatalities last year, so we're trying to correct that this year.
Okay. I just posted the link to Discord if you're not part of the Discord. Oh, speaking of which, did you guys post pictures of your chassis yet?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just need to figure out who you are in Discord because that's a nightmare for me.
Also, shout out to Dr. H, by the way, for getting his podium last weekend at Super G in round 3. That was pretty sick. Had a good battle with Miko.
Mm-hmm.
And also, congratulations, Adam, for the Raiders picking up Ashton Ginty today. That's pretty cool.
Okay. It's got to be Dr. H or something different, Logan.
That's Dr. H. Yeah, that's what, I was talking to Dr. H.
I know you were talking to Dr. H. Actually, I didn't for what, but yeah. Anyway, okay. You guys, we got Kari, we got Brian. Let's go ahead and have them introduce, and we'll kind of talk about it, and we'll go wherever we need to go. So if you do have questions, go ahead and post them in chat. If you have ideas or anything that you're curious about, post them in chat. All right, let's go. Kari, let's start off with you. Let's have you introduce yourself. Tell us about who you are, where you guys are from, how long of a boat ride it is to get to your nearest track. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, Kari. I've been RC drifting, I guess, since I was probably like 11 or 12, like the 4-wheel drive stuff, right back in the day before there was any rear-wheel drive stuff. So I've been doing it for a long time at this point. And because we're like on the small island and we're not connected with the rest of the world and don't have a big track to go to, we sort of fall behind, and then we catch up, and we fall behind. Like over the years, it just keeps happening that way.
Yeah, just for chat, these guys are on Vancouver Island, which is Western Canada, kind of isolated from the mainland a bit in Victoria.
Yeah, we live on a rock. We pay to get on and off the rock.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Same thing. It's kind of how me and Kari met was through RC drifting. I was briefly sponsored by a local hobby shop with all-wheel drive drifting and used to put on events, and that's where we met. His dad used to drive him to the events I put on, actually.
Nice.
And that's how we met. And then just been having fun ever since, doing the thing. And yeah, it's basically Afros on the mainland is where things kind of started. We got introduced with things, and that's where we met all the Vancouver boys and did all that. We fell in love with stuff, and we started hanging out in an underground at a mall. Started drifting there and acquired some plastic gutter and did our thing there. And then I bought a house with a huge shop, and the second floor of the shop, we built our own little paradise.
That's sick. So we were talking a little bit before stream, but basically your guys' closest place to drive is in your shop.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, we just what was it, about a year ago, we bought all P-tiles, so the whole track's all P-tiled now, and
nice.
Catching up
What
with
was
the
it
times.
before?
Pardon me?
What was it before?
It was I don't even know what was it.
Paint on fucking
Yeah, it was like a
Skating
a-
subfloor.
plywood.
it was like
Yeah.
like a poster board almost with
Yeah.
chalkboard paint.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it worked.
Yeah.
It worked, but finally just bit the bullet and
Wait, so chalkboard paint? Did you
Yeah.
did you do your track layouts in chalk then? Like it makes so much sense.
no, it would have made sense to do that, but no, we actually never did that. Yeah. Yeah. It was electrical tape, and then the paint would wear off, and then we'd put another coat of paint on, and it would wear off, and another coat of paint, and finally it was just like, let's buy a P-tile.
Let me try. I'm gonna look up, see if I can get a pic real quick so we can share. Or if you have a pic of the track
It should
to
be on
drop in the Discord, that'd be cool.
Instagram. Yeah. Discord. Where do you want me to drop it in Discord?
Just a general.
Yeah,
General?
that'll be good.
So
So
how often do you guys get together and drive up over there?
We try and do we try and do Wednesdays and Saturdays, just depending on people's schedules and all that. So, but generally it's Saturdays. Me and the boys come over, we hang out, order some pizza, and do our thing. It's not a huge track, but it gets the job done
Yeah.
for not having anything else on the island.
No, yeah. Having anything at all, honestly, like I would, if your only choice is something, to loop in our buddy Jake here, if your only choice is a 3-car garage, I would, we'd still be doing this shit.
Yep.
Get together with the boys on the weekend, drive around. The track doesn't actually matter that much. I mean, it's fun to have a nice big track, but a lot of the hobby is just hanging out with your friends and
Yep.
getting out of the house.
Yeah.
Before because Afro's was a brief time here on the island as well, right? So
Right.
he had his business there. So when that happened, my track kind of shut down because we had somewhere to go. We had the homies to go there. But previous to Afro's, he gifted us a lot of his track stuff from Vancouver.
okay.
And so we set up there, and Saturday nights previous to Afro's opening were crazy. There was 10, 15, 20 people. Usually they'd come over on a Saturday night. We had dual sim setups for like sim driving, and it usually just turned into more of a party than anything. But
Nice. Are you guys
Yeah.
both still doing sim? I see, Kari, you got something behind you there.
Sort of kind of got back into it in the last 4 or 5 months, but
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
same. I just before we went to Japan, I built a whole sim rig, bought
Nice.
a computer, bought everything. So yeah.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
what's the rigs? Let's stop there. Like, what are you driving?
G27, just keeping it simple for now. It's just something to get my foot in the door. And
That'll get the job done.
yep, yeah, it was like, do I need to build a sim rig before I'm about to go to Japan for 3 weeks? No, but
Let's do it anyway.
I did it. Yeah.
What about you, Kari?
similar thing, just a G29 and a
Nice.
Logitech flight stick for handbrake.
Oh,
That's all it is.
I
Yeah.
love it.
doing some Afro stuff for there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first time I saw that trick was Afro. I'm like, oh, I've never thought about that. Okay.
Yeah, just get rid of all the other axes and just have the one pull
Yep.
forward and backward.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
Yep, I'm the same way. Joystick. Simple.
see, I went a little bit. Well, I wanted a full handbrake, but I did the Arduino, like an Arduino micro, and then just got like the Amazon cheap handbrake and used a
That
C
was-
clamp.
That was my second handbrake choice. My first one was like a piece of wood that hit a key or something. I was trying, like when I first started, I had a G27 and I would try to use the buttons on the
Buttons.
steering wheel. That's fucking impossible. It's so hard.
Or by the shifter.
Imagine doing that in real
Yeah.
life.
No, not at all. No.
No. Yeah.
Um,
We had a good taste of when we were at Drift Base in Japan there.
mhm.
They took us upstairs to Kosei's like personal sim setup, and we got to have like a taste of like a top of the line, like curved screens, direct
Sick.
drive wheel. I was like, oh, this feels nice. This feels like a real car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a jump from the Logitech, the old Logitech stuff
Oh,
to
yeah.
the top of the line things they have now.
I still think VR is the way to go, at least for me. Like,
Yeah, I go back and forth. Like, it's really freaking cool. And even if you had like a perfect res, like high quality headset, like the issues for me are just putting it on, setting it up, getting all sweaty. Like, it's just not worth it. Because I had an Oculus for a while and it was set up and ready to go, but I drove it like a few times and I was like, this is cool as hell because you just look around.
mhm.
But after about a week, I just sat down and used my screens.
the
It's like a
simplicity of just sitting down and driving, that
Yeah.
I wish.
And even that is like it's like, even now I don't drive as much because I'm like, I gotta move my, gotta switch my monitors and all this shit. And I gotta make sure most likely all my buttons are reset again. So I don't have to do all that. And I have to download the next cars and then download a track. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. It's so hard to be motivated anymore.
Well, I'm
VR
sure
made me-
if we had the group of guys to be able to do that, then it would make a
Yeah.
little bit more sense.
I'm trying to get that going, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. So
We talk about it all the time, and it just
I
doesn't.
know we talk about it, never actually do it.
We'll try something. We got 2 new guys, Logan. We can reel them in.
Yeah.
Josh is right. Check out the Moza gear when you guys get bored of the Logitech stuff. So there's that. There's Ace Attack. Ace Attack has been coming out with some pretty cool stuff. Yes,
Cinematic just dropped new wheelbases too.
the water cooling setup, or the makers. And then of course there's Fan Attack and Simu Cube. That's what you have, right, Logan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your layout here. Like, what were the decisions that you wanted or that you made here to make the track work?
It was just kind of we're kind of limited space, and that pesky pole sitting in the middle of the track really
Hey.
puts a damper on things. So
We know that
It's-
feeling.
yep,
Yep.
yeah,
You guys have a
exactly.
couple of those too. Yeah.
I embrace the polls. I put polls in a logo, so
Yeah, so it's we're trying to go for more of like a street style course, so it opens up to kind of a few layouts versus just one layout.
yeah.
We've tried multiple layouts, and
Yeah.
it's nice to kind of have something to switch up and not have to do the same layout over and over and over again.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense, especially when you have a smaller space to just kind of put up a few things here and there that are good, just kind of always be there, and then whatever the night, just decide what you guys want to drive. And
Yep.
I like that.
especially
Yeah,
if, there's only a handful of you and you're all mostly in the same pack, then you can really open that up. And
It almost always turns into NASCAR laps at the end of the day. But
I'm about that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm a big oval guy. I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah, so it's we're aiming for more of a street style course, kind of like we're big fans of like Street Break and Ecotech and Hito Works and all that stuff. So, and for what the space we have, it works, and it's something we love. So we're currently working on quite a bit more like scale stuff, and now with getting back from Japan, we got an endless amount of ideas on things to do to make the track more scale and street style. So
Yeah.
Lance brings up a good point. The whole track is built on a platform. Was there any rhyme or
Elephant in
reason?
the room.
it was just there when you bought the house, wasn't it, Brian? That balcony kind of type thing there.
So believe it or not, half that platform is actually built out over my real drift car.
Oh,
Oh.
sick.
Yeah, so it overhangs, and it's basically like a mezzanine that hangs over my shop underneath where my
Right.
car is and that. So when I bought the house, it was maybe a quarter of the size of that platform. Like a previous owner stored some motorcycles and stuff up there.
Mhm.
And then we just went with it and built it out. I think we built it out about 2 feet towards us on the high side, and then we built it out a whole. We built like a 32-foot beam and built it out for another 4 feet overhanging over my car,
Cool.
just to maximize as much
I
space
see.
as possible.
So they're presumably in the middle of the track somewhere. It's basically on what would be the floor, and then you just have like an extension coming out both ways.
Yeah, it's basically like
you.
a big overhanging deck off the.
Yeah.
It's off the. Yeah, there's a flight of stairs to the right of the track there. How you get up to it from the shop, and yeah, it's we've definitely maximized space. I've had dreams of pushing it all the way to the window and basically like flooring in the whole space, but I've got the tracks for my garage, the shop door there, and the window, and it's we keep thinking of ways to try and maximize more space, but I think we've maxed her out. Yeah.
Lance is asking, under the tile, is it OSB or is it like he's saying chalkboard stuff?
No, all that, everything got ripped up, and it's all just sheeted plywood. So it's all framed out. Everything's framed out and sheeted with like plywood, like you would do in a house, really. And then your flooring would go on that.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah, we've done that twice.
Yeah.
The original track got ripped out when Afros came, and then we did it all over again.
Yeah, because once Afros started up here, I actually took the beam out. I took the 4 feet back off the track so I could gain some more light downstairs, because I lose a lot of light working on my car and just shop space with having that big overhang.
Sure.
And then we needed a track again, so build it again.
So you have a 1-to-1 car as well.
Yep.
Sick.
We both do.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Carl?
Who's Carl?
Carl is one of the owners at Rolling Garage, but I think last year he drove his 86 up to VIMC.
Oh, no, I've never actually.
just to cut.
We'll have to hook you up with him, because
Never heard
I think
of
he
him.
goes up there every year for like in July, I think, to
Okay.
drift.
Well, any yeah. Oh, he comes up for 8-6 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, hook him up with me. I mean, my track's always open to homies, so
Absolutely.
come drive.
Will do.
What are the real cars that you drive? Like, actually drift?
We both have 240 SXs. Well, Kari's got 2 of them, and I have 1. Do you want to throw a picture in Discord?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Discord photos.
Yeah, if you guys come out for Drift to Death, you can try to line up a day at Spirit Peaks on the way.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I always wanted to
Hold
drive
on. It's the same weekend as Formula Drift too, so
Yes, it is.
yeah. So
But who cares about that? It happens every year.
well, and I
You know what
guess
I mean?
you guys will probably be streaming Formula Drift, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I went down last year, and
We were there last year too.
yeah. Oh, we missed. I drove the RV down, and we camped right at the track, and it was a party. It was.
That's a good time.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you got an RV down there, that sounds like a really good time.
Jake
Oh, yeah,
is gonna
that
love
whole
this.
That whole campground turns into a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing is sick.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah, Jake's not available at the moment right now. He's busy.
But yeah, that's my car. I basically got it as a rolling shell. That was pretty disgusting, and then built it up to what you see there. It's I did all the paint work myself. I did all the body work. It's got an SR in it, and yeah.
Is that a ruckus over on the side?
That is a pre-bug. I'm pretty sure that one is. Yeah, that's a pre-bug. I have a couple. Or I just have one right now. I've got a Gensuki style Honda Dio I built last summer too.
Right on.
Yeah. But we've got a big scooter gang up here on the island. We do rides once a month kind of thing in the summertime and get like 25, 35, 40 people out. So it's a good time.
Dude, the more you talk, the more I'm like, I kind of feel like I belong in Victoria. That sounds like a cool place, dude.
Expensive to live here. It's
Yeah. I'll just pitch a tent in the forest somewhere. It'll be good.
I've got 2 acres.
There's a little tree house in the back too.
Yeah, there is.
Perfect
Yeah,
to start
there's
with.
a tree
Perfect.
house.
Can I fit a sim rig in there?
Yeah, man. Anything's possible, right?
Just need to run power and an Ethernet cable, and
Yep,
you're golden.
The shop's got a couch in it.
Feister Photo, Capital Drift, Pumpkin Smash.
That
Very
would have been the last time I drove. I think Brian, you drove a year after me, but we haven't had a track here for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it?
I guess,
Spot is no longer around.
No, track got torn down to build
Damn.
houses.
Man,
Yeah. It was like right in between me and Kari too. It was like 10 minutes to the track for both of us.
If that, yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes because of lights. It's like
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
drive. Yeah.
So does VIMC not really do drifting?
No, they're more you need like a $200,000-$300,000 race car to go race around the track, and
Brody
Yeah.
Goebel did the one video there, and that was it. That's all they
Yeah.
allowed.
yeah. So
That's
I know
all-
they have like autocross days and people sneak their cars in and kind of have
Start drifting.
yeah.
Rebel,
No
rebel
drifting
I was out of control, sir.
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
oh geez. Okay.
Well, that's lame. Now I don't want to move there.
yeah. There's talks of another track coming, but I'm not holding my breath. It's
Yeah.
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it kind of is what it is, right? So
Yep.
it's,
That's what RCs are for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We might as well get into it. What up, Chuck, by the way? But you guys, as a whole team, how many of you went to Japan?
Oh yeah.
4 of us. It was me, Kari, Drew, and Joel, and then my brother came along. I kind of forced him into RC drifting and built him. Actually, the Slide Factory boys, Josh and Galen, they hooked me up with a prototype chassis, and I built that all out for my brother to take to Japan. So he
Sick.
came along. So yeah, there was 5 of us along for 3 weeks in Japan, just doing our thing.
It's badass.
Does any
Where-
of you speak Japanese?
Like 3 words.
Yeah. Joel speaks the most because he's been there.
Yeah.
4 or 5
Joel's
times.
pretty fluent in it.
Oh, perfect.
And
Well,
he's,
So you got like a translator.
Yeah.
Well, and we stayed with Mizunaga, Atsushi Mizunaga, that owns Team Tetsujin.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
guy.
He's a very cool guy. So yeah, we got to stay with him. We just basically toured around in the Team Tetsujin van, and he took us to all the tracks. And
Oh, that's sick.
yeah.
I met him up at Kong's. We played rock paper scissors.
Yeah. He did it like 5 or 6 times during the tracks we visited, just giving stuff away.
Super fun. Super rad.
So how did you guys being there's 5 of you? How did you guys travel around Japan? Was it mostly just train and plane, or did you have a car or van or
We had
something?
the Tetsujin van
Oh, sick.
to roll in. Yeah. It was made it easy to get places.
I
How
guess
many tracks did you go to?
6.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, he rented us the van, so when he was at work, we just had the van to just do our thing, and it was just a bunch of white boys rolling around in the
That's a fucking dream, dude.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it was pretty cool. Yeah,
Got lots of looks from Japanese people when all 5 white guys pile out of the Tetsujin van.
It's like,
Man, dude.
what?
yeah.
I guess the reason why I ask about the language is how accessible is it for just a group of guys to go head over there and just not get too complicated and
Well, if you have a translator,
I would say know enough to order food,
yeah.
and I think you're good. Everything else has English on it, like the trains, all that stuff. As long as you stay in the main cities, we didn't stray off very far from main cities, so I don't know what it'd be like if you went off. But yeah, if you know enough to order food, you're probably good enough.
cool.
Because that was what most of the time the rest of us, the 4 of us, needed help with. Was oh, Joel, help order food, or Mizunaga-san, help order food. Everything else was fairly easy.
Did you point at what you wanted?
Yep.
Or-
most of the time,
yeah.
child, basically, yeah.
Some of us have to do this here at English speaking restaurants.
Yeah. It was Apple Maps is like a huge lifesaver
Yeah.
too, because we took off for a few days at the end there and went and just toured Tokyo
Mhm.
by ourselves without Joel stayed back with Mizunaga there. So but Apple Maps is a lifesaver for the train system.
Yeah.
It breaks down every stop you need to go to, what platform, when the trains are coming. Like the schedules on the walls and at the train stations are
The spaghetti.
good luck. Good luck. It's
Yeah. Like,
it's absolute insanity. And then you just have hundreds of people just going every direction. So but Google Translate is also a lifesaver. It you just have that on your phone. You can take pictures of things. It translates stuff, and it's I mean, if just go do it, right? It's
Yeah, for sure.
it's definitely obviously helps having a translator. But if you don't, I mean, don't be scared.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, go do it. I mean, everybody speaks the universal language of RC drift and drifting, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah.
make it happen.
people there are super nice too. That as long
Yeah.
as you're trying, that they'll try to help you out, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
They weren't as nice in Tokyo as they were in Nagoya where we were staying, but
Yeah.
they're
I feel
still
like
willing
there
to help
has to
if you
be.
try.
I feel like the more close, like the closer to Tokyo you are, those are citizens that have had to deal with a lot of
Every day.
tourism
Yeah,
and
right.
just obnoxious, right? So they're definitely going to be more, averse to helping you out. But yeah, I think anywhere you're traveling outside of Tokyo, you're probably people are gonna be stoked to help you out. Not that I've been there, I've watched a lot of like travel shows and stuff. Yeah, so
Josh.
there's some obvious questions here in the chat, but I think the first one is we're gonna skip that. Well, that's the second question. Okay, favorite track. We'll save that one for a second.
Fine.
This is the most controversial one, but what was your guys' favorite like convenience store or gas station spot?
Oh, that's not even in the questions. But okay.
Mizunaga-san lives right next to a Family Mart, so that was the main hit. Usually in the morning was Family Mart. I personally like 7-Eleven because they had these killer smoothies. You just go get out of the freezer. It's all fresh fruit. You throw it in the smoothie machine, blend it up, and so it was a tight. They all kind of offer something slightly different.
Yeah, I
Every
haven't
single
been there, but I feel like that's how I would be. Is I would have something at each one that I know I like a lot.
Yeah,
and so it'd be hard to choose.
What about
Yeah.
you, Kari?
I'd probably go with 7-Eleven too, because Family Mart felt so domestic because it was so close. Even though 7-Eleven was like, just a little bit further, it felt more exotic when you got to go to 7-Eleven.
And what was your
And-
typical get? Like, what'd you buy?
It was honestly like, for me, it was hard to find fruit there a lot of the time, and 7-Eleven had more selection of fruit. So honestly, I just go get apple slices, which is stupid because apples are everywhere back home. But
Something
or
familiar.
they had these like prepackaged maple pancakes. They had maple syrup inside of them with like butter and stuff.
Okay,
That was a good 7-Eleven.
that sounds pretty good.
Were they
Yeah.
warm or were they like just?
No, they were just like off the shelf. Probably so many preservatives in them, but oh,
Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem. All right, so favorite track then. This is a drift podcast after all.
Tough.
that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Probably overall would have been Hecotech.
Yeah.
You guys went to Hecotech.
Yeah. It was,
And that
15
four
minutes.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's pretty close to you guys where you're
Yeah.
at.
15 minutes, 10,
Cool.
15 minutes from Mizunaga-san's house.
There you go.
So what I've seen of that track is that it's very lumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like a lot of fun.
It's like an old shop floor that's been painted over, and but it's good vibes, good track. It was a fun layout. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's 24 hours. Like You just
Yeah.
show up.
Oh,
and,
geez.
Like
Okay.
a couple of the tracks there, 24 hours. You just show up and it's totally an honor system. You pay, and you drive for however many hours you pay for, and then you leave.
That's sick. So it's
Yeah.
all by the hour.
Yeah. There's no one there. Doors open. You just roll in. You check in. There's a little check-in system at the front door, and you just check in, fill out in the envelope how many hours you're going to be there, put your name down, put your money in, throw it in the slot in the wall, and do your thing.
Off you go.
So
Yeah.
let's. I want to see, like, what was your typical like track fee? Like-
What was it? It was
$10. It varied because some tracks charge us $10. We were there for 4 hours. And I think Hecotech was $10 for the first hour, and then it was like 14, and then it was something. Yeah.
Oh wow.
No,
it was really cheap. Every track we went to was really cheap.
so
yeah,
I guess clarification: $10 to $15. Is that USD or is that Canadian dollar?
I guess it's Canadian because ours almost exactly to Japan. It transfers over.
So that's probably like $2 or something for us.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Basically free, probably. Yeah.
So $15 Canadian is $10.81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 2 hours of driving, kind of thing. Yeah.
But that's cool because I don't think I've seen an hourly based track in the States. It's always just like pay for the day type of thing.
Yeah. For the day.
Right. No, I think all the tracks we went to were all hourly.
Potentially the drift based one. I think we just threw $10 or 1,000 yen at them. I don't remember.
Yeah. Drift base. That place was insane.
Yeah.
That was just a family had a huge track on their farm, and the kid, he's like a prodigy. His name's Kosei.
Yeah.
He had so many trophies. It was just he has won like every event you can think of, and now he's sponsored by Liberty Walk and drifting real cars, and
Yeah.
he's 15, I think 14, 15. It was
17.
Is he 17?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And they were, I mean, every track we went to, everyone was so welcoming. It was just like walking into like a track with all your homies.
Right.
It was super friendly. Everyone was just, every place we left, everybody gave us all these little treats and trinkets and presents, and
that's the biggest thing for me. Like the biggest difference. Not that I've been to a ton of tracks here, but I feel like it's happened to me, and I feel like you could go to a track here and just kind of mind your own business and not say anything, and probably no one will, it's a possibility that no one will ever come up to you or ask you anything or say, hey, what's up? There's definitely places you could go here where you just walk in, pay your fee, start driving, and then no one will ever say a word to you.
Yep.
I feel like out there it's not possible.
We went to one of those for sure. I won't mention any names, but there was one that was very much like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. At least there's some people like us.
Oh, Brian, Kari, how tall are you guys?
5'10".
I honestly don't know because some people that I know, they say they're 6'2", and I'm like looking at their head. I've always said I'm 6 feet, but
You're taller than me, so
somewhere in that 6 to 6'2" range.
yeah.
So did you feel like giants?
Yeah, I had to duck under everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I never have that problem here, and I was looking underneath things. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And bathrooms are tiny. Very like there's a couple bathrooms you literally have to like open the door and back yourself into it.
Or a fucking bear in a closet.
Yeah. You want to turn around, there's no way. Yeah.
You are
end up
locked in
upside
position.
Yeah. But the toilets are dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bidets for life.
the day feature is really nice. Yeah.
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 I'm definitely about that.
As long,
Heated seats.
That's nice.
as
There's
long
a
as you
couple
know
with
what buttons to
fire
push, right?
Yeah.
So Mika's on my page here. What is your favorite meal that you ate?
For me, it was Japanese curry.
Mm.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, Japanese curry was up there. We went to a couple like barbecue style, like Korean, almost Korean, Japanese style barbecue with the barbecue in the middle, and we had a whole bunch of Wagyu and prime rib. And
Now, did you cook it yourself, or did you have someone do it for you?
no, we cooked it ourselves.
There you go.
Brian cooked for us at our table, but
Yeah.
There you go.
And then we had some pretty exotic stuff that we found out after when Mizunaga-san just ordered stuff, and we found out we were eating basically every part of the chicken and what was the one when we were out at the intestine. That was yeah. He wouldn't tell us what it was, and I was
literally,
like, this looks pretty questionable. This looks like a really weird body part.
Was it good?
Yeah.
No?
it kind of like
tried it,
powdered
and
in
we'll
your
never try it again.
Oh, weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you get a chance to try chicken feet?
Nope. I ate
done that
horse.
before in my life,
I ate
I don't
horse
want
while I was there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Haven't had horse.
It was actually pretty good. It was sushi. So it came with like a
Oh.
little piece of like fatty like horse meat on a thing of rice.
See that? It was raw, right?
Yeah.
That blows my mind. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah,
Like-
no, it was it kind of tasted like I guess just like a raw piece of like Wagyu almost.
Cool.
Came with like a little dollop of like garlic butter on it too, and yeah, it was I mean, you're in the land, right? You got to try different things. So
Hey, yeah, you can't really knock it. I mean,
yeah,
there's not really a logical argument you can make there.
yeah. Sushi was so cheap there. It was insane. Like we all went out. There was 5 of us that went out to eat, and it was like $52 for everybody to eat as much as they possibly could.
Dude,
That's
Dow,
crazy.
what, Dow, what are you doing? I guess we're turning into a food podcast. Just for the night.
no doubt, yeah.
That's all Dow cares about. So.
Yeah, Dow is asking favorite sports drink between Aquarius and Kari Sweet
Sweat.
Sweat.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't try Aquarius, so
Yeah, I was on the Picari sweats for sure. They were good. Boss Coffee.
Mhm.
They also make a ton of like different tea drinks, and I was trying different drinks almost every day because it's like $1.50, $2 for like was the most expensive for a drink there.
Again from Dow. I'm gonna screw this up. Famachiki or Nanachiki?
Oh, Fammy chicken. So that's like the deep fried chicken from Family Mart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. It was I don't know. You can only eat so much fried chicken. So I only had a few pieces the whole trip, but yeah, it was good. It was really good stuff. Yeah.
they sold these like pre-packaged buns too, with like mayonnaise on them that you could get the bun and then buy the family chickie and make your little. It's basically a junior chicken.
Nice. I like that.
Oh, let's get back to drift. Are there any drifting questions? Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
Did you guys so in terms of like landing there with your cars, did you guys find your cars to be like very far off tuning wise from what the locals were doing, or was it did you have to change a bunch, or?
Yeah, like I said before, like we have the small track. It's really hard when we get to the big tracks, and then you go to Japan and people do it all the time there. It's a little bit different, a little bit faster. I had a lot of trouble picking up grip.
Yeah.
That was the main thing I kept struggling with.
Yeah.
So, what kind of changes were you making, or did they help you make?
We never really had anybody help us make anything and make any changes because every track we were there for like 2 hours, so it was just like drive, get the most of it. Like I'd try a couple things.
Sure.
Mhm.
I did a lot of front end geometry to try to loosen up the front end to just give myself rear grip. That worked well at drift base, but everywhere else I was struggling to
Yeah.
pick up anything.
And your guys is your home track there in the shop is Armstrong tile, right, or something similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
VCT, not PTI.
So, which probably is a little bit grippier than some of like the J-Tile tracks.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So that's always it's a challenge not knowing, like, when you normally drive on a grippier surface, and Joey and all those boys can attest to this, like going somewhere that's a lot slicker is a little bit like, oh, whoa, hold on. Now, well, now we have no grip.
RC Drift Network, Aaron is asking, how big are the tracks there? Are they a lot larger in the US or about the same? Oh, I guess in Canada?
Or Japan.
Well, no. He's asking about Japan.
Oh.
Everything was bigger, and we've only really been to 88 too. Like, we haven't been PDX or Super G or anything like that yet, but everything was bigger than 88, except for Edo Works was a really small track.
Yeah,
everything else was bigger.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that with Adam and Ray, but like the real estate out there and the market is very different.
Yeah.
Like a lot cheaper real estate, a lot bigger market. So yeah, they're going to be able to run much bigger spaces.
And the one thing I thought about today too was like from what I saw, the only parts on the wall at the RC store was RC drift stuff or touring car stuff. There wasn't like Traxxas go jump your car off a roof and
No bashing stuff.
There's none of that stuff for people to enjoy there. So you either enjoy touring cars or you enjoy drifting.
That's
So
hilarious.
they have a little bit of probably off-road carpet stuff, but
Yeah.
so it helps
It's kind of interesting, right?
market.
It's kind of a cultural thing. Like, maybe you could apply that. Just like they're more into organized, like specific, precise stuff, not just slamming a RC car as fast as you can into a tree.
Yeah. I mean, we drifted with people we drifted with kids from the age of like maybe 9 or 10 to some guys that were probably well into their 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, that's cool too.
And it was a whole variety of people. Like it was pretty cool to see that too.
Did
That's
you get
really
a
cool, because I feel like for us here, it's kind of a young sport.
Yeah.
And as someone, I'm 35, about to turn 36, and I just got into this like a couple years ago. So it's like, shit, I'm already old. Like in the competitive scene, I'm already too old. It's like, fuck.
No,
So
I'm the same. I'm the same age as you, so that doesn't count. And that's
Did you guys get a chance to kind of peep in on other people's setups?
Yep.
What was the weirdest thing that you saw? I mean that in the most good way possible, everybody.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there wasn't. I mean, for me personally, like I run an RDX, so I mean, I know like a lot of people are running RDXs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really, there wasn't really like weird stuff. Everything was kind of basically bolt on either Yokomo or RDX.
Pretty straightforward. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The maybe thing I noticed different was the RDX. They had their motors laid down, where most people here are in the back up top. That was the one common thing I noticed.
So that's kind of something I'm curious about, is even though like a lot of us don't technically build like weight shift chassis, a lot of people still try to have some amount of weight higher than lower, which is, I find kind of interesting. So it sounds like you're saying that's kind of not the case in Japan.
From the ones that I looked at, yeah, I didn't look at too many cars, to be honest. I was screwing with my own shit half the time.
Joey's right. Just quick little test. I'm not going to say anything, but can you guys both say Yokomo?
No, they already said it.
Yeah.
That's why it came up.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing
Did they do it right?
Yeah, Yokomo.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's fine. We know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
To be honest, when I was talking to Afro at Expo, I did say Yokomo. Like
It's like you
was like,
start
out
doing
of
the thing where you
habit.
auto translate.
Yeah.
I think it stems from him, honestly. I didn't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
know what Yokomo was before
That makes sense.
I met him. Like
Yeah.
I was drifting TBO2s or whatever from Tamiya.
Yeah,
The
actually,
first person you ever hear say it says it one way. That's how you're gonna say it.
what were your two, like both of you, what were your first cars? Your counter steer cars?
Sakura D3 was my counter steer car.
Okay.
Mine was HPI Sprint 2 with the Afro counter steer setup.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And we did quite well at that. Both of us. We went over. Afro used to host competitions over in Vancouver, New West there, and did the counter steer thing, and then rear wheel drive started being a thing. So we held like a counter steer competition and then a rear wheel drive competition, and yeah. But I'm glad things changed. That's for sure. That was
Right. JDM Cookies coming in with, how would you guys compare Japanese style to RC drifting to US style, or your style? Let's go there.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast and like consistent.
Yeah.
Not to say that we're not consistent, but they're just, especially like Kosei and the higher level guys, are just, they're on it, right? Like I said, we've never been to Super G or anything, so we haven't seen much of that kind of style of being fast and very consistent. But from the people that we do drive with on occasion,
Did you feel like, well, did you drive on any tracks that had clipping zones on it?
I think almost all of them did to
yeah.
some degree. It's just whether people were using them or not.
Gotcha. Because the gist I got from just talking to people over and over again, it seems like here in the States we're hypercritical about zones just because that's how we're judged. And then like Japan style is, or anywhere else really, is more just like all about style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ito Works was a huge style place.
Yeah.
Huge style course. Like it was just all street style. There wasn't really like it had road markings everywhere. Like it literally just looked like a super scale little countryside in Japan. So that, yeah, but then you go to like Drift Base, and Drift Base was like basically like a full on comp setup. Like it was clipping zones everywhere, super fat. It was just basically, yeah, it was just a comp track.
Yeah. I think so much of that is just like the way that drifting evolved in Japan versus how it evolved here was like in Japan, it was always like it started in the streets and it was only in the streets. And a lot of people kind of got into it through that. And then whereas you compare that to here, I think for a lot of us here, our first introduction to drifting was competitive at that point. Like it was a competition. I mean, obviously the people that were driving probably figured out some other way, but like for myself, was the first time I ever saw drifting was on a FD event. So that's kind of like always been sort of what I was wanting to do. My observation for like Japanese style versus our style is that they're very like, it's kind of just haul ass down a straightaway as fast as you can, flick it as hard as you can, and then pull out of whatever that is ends up being, and then you're focused on the next straightaway, like getting up to as high of a speed as you can again, so you can flick it again, and just doing that over and over. Whereas us, we're more like kind of hit the big angle and hold it through a turn, and then just go down the straightaway so that you get to the next turn at the same speed without having to decel, and just kind of flow into that and hold the big angle all the way around it again and be in the zones and stuff. Which I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every track had a big straight of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
And they'll like whatever the last turn is before the straightaway, they won't try to hold big angle through that entire turn. Once they basically align with the straightaway, they're just taking off.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna chuck it as hard as they can.
Yeah.
Which
is
is
even
definitely
like
fun.
We went to D1 Lights at Nico. They do the same thing. Like they sort of drift those first couple corners off the back straight, and then they just like fly down the front straight.
Take off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you guys post your chassis pictures?
Roast by
Roast.
Rig.
Okay.
Hopefully the right place.
Yeah.
Always the right place.
Yeah, that's the right place. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna start looking for those and getting ready for that.
There should be just a couple up from what's there. Carrie's name is Kari and mine's Brain's Life.
Wow, so normal. What?
Yeah,
Many
yeah.
messages in there.
Keep things easy. Yeah.
Okay. Let me pop these up. To
What are real quick before we look at your guys' cars? What are what are some of the trends that you guys are seeing? Like, I guess between it's hard. Like, uh, how often do you guys make it out to 88?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, in the last while, probably twice a year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're mostly just driving at your shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, I mean, coming back from Japan and how much we got to drive, this year I want to try and start making it over there at least like once a month kind of thing. Because
Yeah.
we can do day trips, but it's still like with the ferry both ways and
Yeah,
everything. Like,
That's
it's
an
still, like,
overnight for me for sure.
yeah, like Carrie and I just did a day trip just before we went to Japan there, and you're still like a few $100s just for a day,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it makes for a long day. But
Yeah.
I mean,
you gotta maximize that a little more.
yeah. I don't own
Um,
I don't own a helicopter yet, so
Hey, if you get one, I can fly it.
Gotta do, yeah.
it's like
I'm
hold
not licensed,
tight.
but I can fly it.
Yeah.
So how many people are driving at your track?
It varies. Consistently, there's 4 or 5 of us, but then you get the odd person that still has a car from like Afro days that comes out occasionally, but consistently 4 or 5 of us.
So yeah, if you had to put a number on like the size of your community, specifically on in Victoria, it's like 5 to 6 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That are consistent. Yeah, for sure.
So what are like what's the is there like a dominant trend as far as like what chassis you guys drive, or do you guys all kind of just do your own thing?
Oh my gosh.
Started doing my own thing a couple years ago personally, but everybody that the sort of ones that just kind of come around when they do, it's all just YD2. They all bought it when Afros was here.
Got you. It's a lot of YD2 based.
Yeah.
And nobody's like, you don't have too many people like always buying the next thing and building and
That's him and I.
Yeah, that's
about the extent of it.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah.
Cool.
I was in an SX3 for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was kind of outdated. I don't know. Chassis seem to be like cell phones these days, where there's consistently a new one coming out every 6 months or a year or so, right? So
yeah.
And then I just made the jump probably about a year, probably less than a year ago, to an RDX. And then Joel and Drew also, we all bought RDXs at the same time, just before the Matsuri actually in November at 88.
Cool.
So we scrambled, I built 3 chassis like right before, like I think we were like up to like the day before we were leaving, building chassis and tuning them and whatnot. And yeah. And then
we did livery in the RV.
Yeah, doing liveries in the RV on the ferry, and yeah. Yeah.
That would have been interesting. People walking by, it's like, what are you guys working on?
Yep. Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time. We I think one of the first trips we ever went on with Afro down to, was it DriftCon at Monroe Speedway?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like in the back seat of a car, like spray painting a body. Like, as we were going down the freeway, like every stop, he'd be like out, like spray painting a car, and yeah.
Gotta
Wasn't
stop,
even a
guys.
simple-
Second coat.
Yeah. And it wasn't even a simple, I think it was like an E46 front end on like an S14 or something like that. He was like
He would do that.
Frankenstein build, and yeah.
There was definitely some painting going on at Super G at Worlds when we were down there in the parking lot.
Yep.
I think Jake might be Jake's body might be a little wet this weekend. We'll see.
All right, what do we got? So let me switch here.
Yeah, let's check him out.
So here we go for Brian. Got some RDX action. So tell us a little bit about it.
It all changed in Japan. Actually, I bought a ton of stuff in Japan. It was prices that are so good on RC parts. So
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
I ended up buying I bought like the carbon Rev D chassis while I was there. I swapped my whole chassis over one night while I was there. Yeah, I bought the arms. I bought big bore shocks while I was there.
That should look familiar, Logan.
Hey, you got the Hecotechs on there. I like it.
Yeah, he hooked me up with those while I was there, and
Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, just experimenting with those. I only have, I think, 2 sessions with them, kind of thing. So yeah, playing with those.
What camber things do you have on there? 3?
3s, yeah. That
Cool.
was what he was running. So I was,
Yeah.
I was chatting with the owner, with Hiko-san, the owner
Yeah.
of Hecotech, while I was there, and
Yeah.
that's what he was running and what he recommended. So
Nice.
he set me up with that, and
Do you have it all set up with no caster and everything and the same length arms?
no, not yet. No.
Oh, you got to try that. That's
still
funny.
experimenting with stuff. So yeah, like I said, I think I got them. Yeah, I think I only had two sessions with the knuckles on there. So
Funny.
What's your overall thought? Like,
I like them. I think there's more room to make it better.
Yeah.
There was just a huge language barrier with trying to explain what needs to be done with what they are. So
Yeah.
Kari actually found a big write-up on them. It's all in Japanese, so I've been reading through, like, Google translating all that and kind of going through to get a better idea. But
Main thing is just setting it to 0 caster and then keeping your upper and lower arms the exact same length so that the only camber comes from the included angle in the knuckle itself. And that's kind of what they're designed for. But you know, everybody kind of runs what they run, so you just take some driving experimentation.
Yeah. Because I've and I just switched the whole front end too, because I've got the aluminum upper and lower arms, but it's kind of a pain to get aluminum uppers on an RDX. So I've been looking at Miko Yang.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
His setup with the MC1 upper control arm there. So that's what I just switched to, and switched all that. So trying to get all that, and then trying to get just trying to get a good setup and dial it in. And then
Miko's always sharing his setup sheet and everything too, so it's a good spot to look for.
So that's what I've been kind of going off of his setup sheets and stuff like that. So going with that there. And then it's all I also bought a Futaba remote while I was there. I bought a 10PX remote while I was there. I bought the gyro.
They're so cheap there. It's like, it's a good deal.
Yeah. Oh, it was. I bought an overdose bag while I was there. I bought the overdose remote bag. I bought the overdose hauler while I was there.
You needed the bag to carry all your shit back.
It works as a carry-on too. It was dope. Yeah. So I basically bought like an entire new car while I was there, and it was basically like every time we went to a hobby shop, I'd go back to the house and just be like working on stuff, and
part of the fun.
Yeah.
That was us. Like when we went to Worlds, every night at the house, it was like 4 cars on the dining room table just pulled apart. Everybody thrashing.
Yeah. And then I started experimenting with the sway bar in the rear too. So we a couple of the faster tracks we went to, all the guys were running sway bars in the rear. So
yeah, I noticed that. It's a bit of a trend out there. Definitely people. I mean, the fact that Rev D even made the sway bar in the first place, but then a lot of people adopting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm just got it hooked up now, just playing with it, seeing if I like it, and it's easy enough to just kind of pop the 2 screws out of the arms too, and like drive without it and drive with it to just see the differences. So
you don't really feel it. I bet that's pretty noticeable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it gives you more traction. It's weird.
And you got that crazy carbon fiber splitter thing, diffuser.
I actually won that with a game of rock paper scissors with Miss Augustine.
Nice.
So we were the last night we were at the first night we went to Hecotech. He always did big giveaways. He gave away a bunch of wheels. So it was a big group. Everybody played rock paper scissors until somebody won. And the owner of UK Works was at Hecotech that night.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah, so he ran out to his car and he threw in a couple splitters, diffusers while we're, and then because we didn't play with the wheel stuff, but then he threw in a few things and I won a game of rock paper scissors. So yeah.
We're gonna have to. That's gonna be one of our games that drift to death. Rock paper scissors tournament, dude.
It's everything in Japan. Everything. Like
John
we were
Kenpo.
even on the train and there was like a bunch of young guys that got onto the train and there was like 2 seats and there was 4 of them and they all stood there and played rock paper scissors for a seat on the train.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, like it's like that's just how they decide a lot of things there, I guess, is rock paper scissors. So yeah.
So barrel springs, you're running them, yeah? Front and rear.
I bought those in Japan too.
You bought everything that you're looking at in Japan, boys.
So
everything except for my motor, my ESC, and servo. That stuff I had already.
That's literally everything.
right.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much everything. Yeah, it changed while I was in. I walked into the hobby stores and things were so cheap. I was like, wow.
And it's all there. Yeah.
All there on the shelf because
Like the idea of walking into a shop and seeing like any of these parts on the wall is like, what? That's crazy.
And the prices too. Like everything was like, because we don't have a hobby shop on the island that stocks anything. So everything's buy online, have it shipped here. And the fact it was all just sitting in front of me for like just insanely cheap compared to even what we pay for it. Like for you guys, you could have probably just walked in and like taken it because it was free with the exchange rate. Like it was.
No, don't say that.
That was even like the overdose bag and all that. It was like hundreds of dollars cheaper than if you can find to buy one.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Vittorio's in the chat. I agree with him, and he knows that. We've been trying to campaign that. We need spring rates on springs so that we know what the hell we're buying.
Yeah. I hate the spring and shock. It's the most annoying thing to me.
Yeah.
I get it's a sales tactic, but it is really annoying. It's
pretty frustrating. Like if you're actually trying to mess with it because there's so many factors and it's hard to actually know what you're building. Yeah. Like, even like with oils and pistons, you have to do some math to figure out what the hell you're doing there. So
you want the Swift spring of RC drift cars.
Just put the dang spring rate on the package so we know at least a ballpark of like, obviously there's some variation, but like when you buy springs from any given company, you just don't actually know what
it's totally like, yeah. Oh, do I feel a difference?
Like
a
mystery. You have to find
out.
You don't know. I bought whole spring kits and been like, oh, all these are too soft. Cool. Sick.
So because like one person's hard to another person's hard to a medium to a like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't go buy a set of stance coils and it's like, oh, give me the hard rating. Like, give me the soft rating. Like yeah. I don't know. They need to definitely work on that for sure.
So the question was thoughts on the barrel springs. Let's just keep that to a yes or a no.
Yeah, I like them.
There you go.
Yeah, I like them.
Okay, what else are we going through here? Yeah, Vittorio, we know you don't like painting your own cars. They look too nice. Okay, we're still rolling through pictures. Kari, it's your turn, I think.
Yep.
Drift package.
Is that the main whip?
Currently, yeah. I have 2 of them that are. One's kind of a hybrid, and then this is just all drift package.
Wait,
it's probably 2 years ago before all the Shibata stuff started coming back into play. I got bored. I wanted a challenge. I got like everybody's car was, you lift off a shell, everybody's got the same like 4 cars, and there was 2 drift packages for sale in Vancouver for $300. And I was like, let's try it. And since then, I've bought every drift package part I can think of off the buy and spent way too much money, but it's fun, you know? So
Can you tell me a little bit what's going on underneath the pit mat? This is awesome.
So I tried with the Star Wars mat. It's just my, computer mat for my mouse, and it was just killing the picture. So I put an old mat on top.
So it's a Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Lego
not
Star
the-
Wars mat
Got you.
from like the video games, all the choices that used to have.
Hell yeah.
I dig it.
Got it.
So let's talk about this. It looks like you're running like the actual DP conversion kit, like the front end, yeah?
Sort of, kind of, not really. It is like a little bit of a hodgepodge. It's a FRD
Okay,
3 rack, I think.
gotcha.
A lot of this stuff came from Joey's old car that I bought from Brian, that he bought from somebody else, that was just kind of sitting for a couple of years. Because the rack really unlocked the possibility for the drift package. Like the original rack that are in them is just not very good for rear wheel drive stuff. And then it's wrap up upper arms and like a rear arm holder onto an overdose shock tower that just kind of all keys in together. Luckily, it's not too sophisticated, and I think wrap up V3 knuckles is what I got on there.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so if these are the overdose trans cases, these are a treasure. keep a hold of those.
Yeah, I know. those were buy for sure. Like I just threw a bit out, woke up in the morning, won them.
Oh,
Spent too much money on them.
Old style rear active toe.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
My whole kind of idea with the car was I knew how it was when Joey owned it, and I wanted to keep it that way, and that's how it was when Joey owned it. So for the purposes of this car, it'll stay that way, because it's not like I could compete with it if I wanted to. I'll probably give it a try, but might not keep up with more today's stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure it could. I'm sure it could if you really wanted it to.
Yeah.
Man, so much nostalgia in it. Like I still have my DP chassis, like the plastic tub, like up in my closet over there.
Yeah, that's kind of where it all started for us. Like that was our introduction to rear wheel drive. Was that, I think, that chassis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Afro and Joey back in the beginning days.
Yeah, the D4s came out.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of we all jumped on those, and then Afro was like, no, drift package, and it was way better than D4 ever could want to be.
I mean, I guess chassis for chassis, you have D3, D4, which was like sub $100 chassis, right?
Yeah.
And then DP is like tried and true.
Yeah. I originally got the D4 for rear wheel drive, and then I slowly figured out that I had better parts on my D3, so I actually converted that to rear wheel drive at the time, and that was what I was driving for quite a few years.
What type of conversion did you do on the D3?
What was it? It was
motor
Eagle
position.
Racing. It was all in original position,
Okay.
but we put back then battery in the back was just, it was an Afro thing. That's what we did. So battery was all the way in the back, and then I had an Eagle Racing R31 rack on it,
Sure. Okay.
and then I cut some stuff on the front end to kind of all make it work.
Yeah, I put that Eagle Racing rack on my Hot Bodies TCFD. Man, that didn't pan out so well, but it did work. Okay, and what are we looking at here?
What is that?
It's a wrap up.
Yeah, it's my homemade chassis that I drew up myself and got cut, and
Cool.
decided to do it all within 2 or 3 weeks before going to Japan, which is probably why I struggled with car setup there a lot, but it was fun. So it's locked in to a drift package rear end. You can use either, a Yokomo. They made the motor mount for carbon decks back then, or
Mhm.
you can use a wrap-up mount if you can find one, if you can find either of them. And then the front end is you can use YD2 stuff, you can use drift package stuff, you can use slide rack. Battery can go transverse as it is, or drift package style, or GRK style. I just wanted a lot of options in it. Just
That's
kinda
pretty
screw
sick.
around with. Yeah. So thank you.
How have you done a lot of like CAD drawing stuff before, or was this kind of
This wasn't the first project.
sure?
I've done my fair share of 3D printing over the last 4 or 5 years.
Had you had anything cut out of carbon before?
No. So Josh from Vancouver and I
Yeah.
talked in November about like he has a guy in Vancouver that cuts stuff for him, and that's what kind of stemmed my brain of it's always. I told Brian this when I first bought the drift packages, like I want to make my own chassis one day,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and this was the time I was like, let's give it a try. I have a person I know I could cut it, and it was actually easier than I expected.
Yeah.
As long as you kind of know what you're doing in CAD and you know to, lock everything in place, which I didn't do on my first rendition, and then I went to go print it, and everything it went everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you? Okay, so it is the same guy that Lance uses. So did you? What was your technique for like measuring holes and stuff? Did you just kind of stick a scale or like a caliper on it?
More or less a caliper, and a little bit of trial and error here and there of just like print the chassis out. Oh, this doesn't work. Go back.
Okay.
Move
So
it.
you're printing like test pieces, like in plastic.
Yeah.
And then kind of adjusting things.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you got the first piece cut out of carbon, was that like good, or did you have to change it again?
There's a couple issues with this one. This is the first one.
Is it? Okay, cool. You're able to use it.
But I was able to, drill out a hole on the drill press to 4 mil instead of 3 mil and make it kind of like
Okay.
everything. Any issues with it is like within a half a millimeter.
So is that like issues because of just the way you drew it, or because of like tolerances and sizing and things like that?
The one issue on the back, the drift package bulk, is my measurement issue.
Okay.
But then the other issues come from like this is the test piece.
Yeah.
And like gluing the 3D prints together.
Oh, okay.
Within that there's a little, because the 3D print's going to be actually bigger than the CAD file.
Yeah,
And you won't know that until you cut it out.
Yeah, that's my kind of hang up is like I can measure things and I can draw it and I can print it.
Yeah.
But I know like there's a lot of weirdness in printing stuff and having actual measurements, match the real world. And then
yeah, but now that I have 2 pieces of carbon, I can adjust. Like I probably won't adjust off the bottom deck, but I'll adjust the top to.
Yeah.
Josh has a suggestion for you, Kari. Split the deck under the gearbox.
Yeah, probably should have done that instead of in the middle. But oh well.
That's cool though, man. That's sick.
Thanks.
Are these the freestyle knuckles on Rev D arms? Or the rear uprights?
Those are Shibata knuckles. They don't technically work.
It's a pin mismatch, right?
No, the pins are fine.
Okay.
The pins are 2.5, but the Shibata knuckles have like a low position and a high position in the little pieces that bolt into the knuckle on the bottom. You can only use them in the high position.
Gotcha.
For the little pin to go through.
And you're frozen, by the way. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Brian, the chat wants
there we
to
go.
know.
There we go.
Chat wants real quick, Brian. Chat wants to know: is that a real VSK up behind you?
No, those are Serb 2s.
There you go.
Yeah,
Sorry,
VSK
chat.
still in the car. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Now, have you thought about doing Nervous R style, kind of fitting in with a GRK?
So originally, when I got the drift package, I was worried about keeping up. So I bought all the Nervous R parts,
Mhm.
and then I blew that whole car apart to make this. Or I'm pointing at it, it's on my desk, but this car here is got my Nervous R parts on it
Gotcha.
per se, other than the little counter gear and it, being flipped the other way.
Gotcha.
DJ,
Yeah, DJ, it's time.
it's time.
You've been called.
Do a kickflip.
You've been hailed.
It's time to do it, huh? Shoot.
What up, Hector?
By the way, everybody, if you need DJ to do a kickflip, you just need to do a kickflip. And we'll see how many kickflips DJ can do back to back. Let's go.
That's probably 0. That's 1.
Well,
2.
We got up to
That
one.
was like we're back to 0. Day 1 of doing
You
a
did one
kickflip.
Reset the
Dude.
counter. Oh, I love
This is
this.
me 15 minutes later, still trying to do a kickflip.
Oh, are you running the wrap up next heavy duty ball diff?
So I am, but I'm gonna be switching out. This was the cool thing about Japan. I found so many new old stock parts for these.
Gear diff, huh?
I didn't find a gear diff,
Oh,
and I wouldn't probably run them anyways because those gears are so old that they just like incinerate a lot of those original DP gifts.
Sure.
DP diffs.
What a crazy problem
but
to
I-
have.
I did. So both cars are running. They're the ring gears for the solid axle
hmm
of the DPs that they used to make, the plastic solid axle. They're the ring gears for that, but I 3D printed a piece to go inside of that to put it on the wrap up ball diff.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So it's a metal gear for all intents and purposes. But I also did find D-like ball diffs there, so I'm gonna switch out to those because they have the cup protectors. Then it'll last a little bit longer. These ones are already wearing pretty good, and I haven't used them that long.
Man.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I didn't catch Brian. What gyro and servo did you have in that RDX?
The GY 550, and then the RSST servo.
So same here.
Yeah.
Do you guys all pretty much run that setup?
What was that?
Do you guys all run that setup?
Just him and I.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
So-
I was running a Revox gyro,
Mhm.
and then since I bought the 10PX, I went with the 550 just to kind of unlock all that.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
that
that's definitely it's a whole new world, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion.
How are you guys dealing with the 550 and the RSST? Are you turning down the damper on the RSST and then using the damper on the gyro, or vice versa?
Vice versa.
Okay.
So no damper on gyro, and all the damper on the
Servo. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean,
Terry,
I tried the other way,
Terry's-
but yeah. I talked to Joey a little bit about that when I first got it. He said to just go with that way, so I haven't tried to recreate the wheel per se.
Right.
I wish I was smart enough to like have an oscilloscope and like hook them up and see what all the difference in the settings are and stuff on the signal.
Yeah.
Be really interesting.
I think it'd be cool to look at and also realize I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that was the I wish I was smart enough part.
Oh,
But you could, if you're smart enough to understand, then you could see what each setting does to the signal, right? Because that's what you're changing.
like if I could figure out how to do PPM pulse width or PWM pulse width modulation and have that read through an Arduino, then yeah, we could totally do sim rig to RC drift car stuff
Yeah.
pretty easily.
I think all those videos on Instagram are a scam.
Nah, I think there's some realism in it.
No. It's always like dudes in a field with no wires at all anywhere.
Okay, should we kick it over to that roast my rig part of the stream?
Let's do it. Let's roast. I'll be right back though.
So I'm gonna just start off with the pictures after Kari's chassis here, which unfortunately brings us to Josh Geeg. So let me pop those up here. So, oh, that's not it. Let's try that again. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So if you guys need to know, this is a section where we need to find the issues and problems with these chassis. There are a lot of them that you won't find, but yeah, let's try. Oh, hey, actually, does anyone know if the how long the SD 3.0 arms are? In chat, or you guys? Do either of you know?
Nope.
Are they shorter than 45 millimeters is my question. Anyways, here we go, Logan. Check this out.
Who's this? Josh?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Because it's just impossible to rip Josh on anything. I mean, everything he does is immaculate.
Oh, did you see that you can buy a full kit of the UC dampers?
Yeah, they released that like a few weeks after I bought a whole bunch of shit to convert TRFs.
It's like $116 or something like that. And I'm like, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I still wish the shaft was a little bit more polished instead of like coarse. They yeah, I don't know.
I wish the design for the O-ring on the top could be adjusted. It's pretty annoying to deal with because it just pops off all the time.
So, oh,
we got him. We got him.
Speaking of this, have you guys seen the new Aerodisc wheels from RevD?
Yeah, those went around a lot.
What are your thoughts? Because it says that they're 24 millimeter to prevent, like, well, to be able to
Prevent that.
to prevent this, but to enable less, more narrow scrub, less scrub.
Yeah, prevent binding on the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
So I
thought it was kind of legit.
The weird thing about the release of these is it lines up really closely with something we saw in Japan, which I thought was very interesting. And unfortunately, it was at the track where people didn't talk much about their setups. But there was guys cutting out the inside of their wheel to make it flex more. Would be my understanding of how that would what it would do. Yes, they took off probably 2 to 3 millimeters of the inside of their wheel just with side cutters whole way around.
To make them flex more.
Yeah, make them flex more.
Like, were these top line high traction wheels, or were these like something more normal, I guess?
I think the one I did see the guy cutting, it was like one of the Yokomo high traction wheels. And possibly it was my guess. I didn't really look too much at it, but I saw him doing it and I was like, that's interesting. But I know the Rev D ones, they're marketing them for the front, but our tires are still 26 millimeters, so we're gonna have tire overhanging the other 2 millimeters of the wheel.
I guess so. Like,
that looks kind of dumb.
I mean, but if you don't see it, you don't see it, right?
Yeah.
And if it's all about performance, then I guess there you go.
Yeah.
I do have to believe there has to be a limit on like the return on how flexible a wheel can be, because obviously the tire isn't that flexible, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they just make proper size wheels to fit the tires?
That's insane. That's like asking why don't they have eight hot dog buns in a pack of buns? You know what I mean?
I don't know if I could do this. On the UC dampers, bottom O-ring, top be clipped, like E-clip style. Yeah. I don't know. I replaced mine with a little bit stiffer O-rings, and they are like firmly on there. And I do like the ability to just like kind of pop them off, like the way that I do
I think
it
if
is.
you just went to like a slightly smaller O-ring with a smaller like thickness, it would probably be fine. Sounds like Josh has the spec. They my guess is would just be that they just use because they're ordering the O-ring in the one size and they didn't want to have a specifically sized O-ring for the one on the top. So they're just using it and it works good enough.
Yeah, Josh is using what I'm using, but like I randomly chose these. I had no idea. But yeah, they work well.
Yeah, I need to get some. I haven't lost any of mine yet, but I feel like it's only a matter of time.
Mine are locked away in one of my little plastic containers, just in case. Okay.
Yeah, Josh builds clean stuff. He paints clean cars. It's really, there's not really much to roast.
Who is PDX Hawk? I haven't seen that name. No idea.
I don't know.
But it looks like
What are they
a
building?
beast mode thing.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, it is beast mode. Straight up. DJ, you should get in on this. Mr. Team Beast Mode.
With the RSST Pro?
RSST Pro.
Dang.
I think. Oh, it's my. Okay. That makes sense. He's building it now.
Pretty cool.
Oh man.
Didn't we have a rule? Didn't we have a rule? No deal, no big deal, Michael. But I think we have a rule for we're not going to roast incomplete cars.
This is the worst part of the RDX for me, is the rear battery or rear ESC tray.
Why? I feel like it's pretty neat.
I love the idea and the concept, but there's no satisfaction of like confidence in it like locking into place. Like if there was like a detent in there, like knowing that it's down.
Oh, it doesn't have like a little click at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah, my beast mode, I've got a grab handle, and then I ran standoffs with a ESC plate, so mine's for sure not going anywhere.
This is cool.
It's pretty cool.
Locked in. Ken Krog, 1974. What body is this? Is this it's a Nissan body of some sort. Or at least that's what the sticker is.
I think it's a Pandem.
Yeah.
Is that an RX-7 front end?
That's what I was thinking. But I can't tell. This alien reminds me of the like Facebook Reels, the aliens that tell jokes, like dad jokes. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah.
Like Caliber. Here we come. Gold. All the gold. All the weight. It's a lot of weight. Are those 10-gram weights or are the 20s? Who knows? Oh, look at this. Front ESC. All nice and tucked away. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty clean.
Are those shocks upside down too?
They sure are.
They sure are.
What are your guys' thoughts on the upside down shocks?
If there's a chance they don't leak as much, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, is that the only benefit to it?
It's the weight, right? 'Cause
Theoretically, yeah, you're gonna have a little lower weight
Right.
center of gravity deal.
That's why all the buggy guys are doing it.
Right.
Oh wait, who's at it? Ideal, Ray. No,
Yeah,
that's
stop
ours,
leaks because that bladder seal is a lot stronger than the fucking O-ring.
Yeah.
And then your nerds are upside down no matter what you do.
Right.
So you're just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, it's another clean looking deal. I'm trying to find like one black screw and I can't.
It's the straight banana plugs for me.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's the resoldered straight banana plugs for me.
There's a hell of a lot going on with that cable.
Man,
He
okay.
says inverted shock stop leaks. There you go. Yeah, the straight plugs is that's kind of not it for me.
It's the resoldering. New wires, my guy. New wires. Like,
Yeah, just pop them bad boys off the ESC.
I don't get the scare like factor of rewiring your ESC wires.
It's just because it takes so much heat and you have to, like, people aren't patient or willing to sit there and hold their soldering iron on the ESC for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
Ideal.
get-
Already do, brother. I am a one-up driver.
Sevron. Another super high spec Golem. Oh look, hey,
Yeah,
these are the
what are we what are we doing here, folks?
these are the HG4 shocks. I'm still a fan of the HG3s just because they look sharper.
I like the dedication to red by taping or vinyling the battery.
I love the fact that this fan mount is not held in by anything. Like, it's just chilling.
Is it just sitting there?
It's just
There's got to
chilling.
be one screw in it somewhere.
Watch it be like double-sided tape just on the bottom of the receiver.
Just
I like
shoot.
those wheels. They're probably not the best, like, in terms of flexy high traction, but they look sick.
These are the buzz brake wheels, the aluminum ones.
Yeah, those are cool.
Driving Golem or Shelf Queen Golem. Whoa, wait, no, that's normal. Never mind. This overdose. This. My gosh. Have you guys tried to open up the overdose battery tray?
I'm not a Golem guy.
DJ, do you have this problem yet?
Mine's a paperweight at the moment, so not really. I haven't had that issue.
Like, make it knurled. Do something. Like, sure, it looks really clean like this, but
Yeah, as I like mess around and play with it, you have to have that like right tension, or else you just can't get it off.
it's fine. It's fine, everybody. It's just
I've just come to the conclusion I'm just probably gonna have to use a tool every single time to get my battery out, which kind of sucks. But
clean pictures.
Overdose will have to make a really expensive tool just to remove your battery.
Oh my
People will
gosh.
pay the price.
They would.
Yeah, yeah.
This is an L Allen key in an overdose bag. $55.
But it's red.
The mismatch of the
Shoot.
magnets.
Shoot, don't tempt me to just go get a 2L Allen key, staple an OD freaking baggy thing back together and just be like $100
Yeah.
That has
Very,
to
very
happen.
rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
shipped to your door.
I promise you, there are people out there that do that shit. Save their bag.
think every owner does that.
Yeah, all the tops are saved. We don't throw OD tops away, boys.
Actually, speaking of one, I got one saved right here, so throw that to the stash. They're just laying around, dude. They just keep popping up.
Thank you for posting good pictures. That was great. Okay, what do we got here? IAF X Joshua.
Ideal Auto Factory posting up. He's always experimenting, doing crazy shit. Check out his YouTube channel too.
Oh, is this the one? Is this the guy that like literally everyone like because of shock position like trashed the picture? Like,
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that.
this is cool. So belt drive, and then the shock positioning is really
Yeah.
interesting because it's the top is the rear and then the bottom is the front. Oh, this is like straight push rod all the way to the front.
Weird.
I know. I'm trying to like grasp.
We can't even make. I don't even understand this.
No, I've got it. I got it.
Yeah, sure you do, Adam.
Yeah, but when the front goes up, how does that push rod get pushed?
Well, the
Because
front
the push
Oh.
rod is the shaft.
where the front is mounted on that rocker arm is a hard point. Like that's not moving right, so that's fine. But the front, I don't understand. Or no, wait. Oh god.
That's what I
Yes,
mean. Like, how are you getting front like suspension? I mean, it's just not pictured. I don't think.
Yeah.
For
So
us to see
Josh, we need a video of this moving and articulating. To
Have you
understand it. It would be
seen-
stupid.
have you seen the pigeon, the newest pigeon front end?
The bearing? Yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
That's that
yeah.
setup, right?
Yeah. So the shock is coming from behind the arm, right? So that's typically where the shock would be, and then there's probably another pivot point up there, kind of like a reverse IFS setup. Back is top shock.
Yeah.
Front shock. Yeah, we got
is
that.
Absolutely zero for me.
I think we might find out by this. Nope.
Josh needs to post a video.
Well, and then there's this. This is cool. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that straight axle kit.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I knew Mark would be all over that.
Yeah. Mark, yeah. Cool stuff. Oh, remember like a while back ago when I was talking about the servo powered suspension? It's the Super Scale 2020 stuff.
Yeah, the guy that made it for the crawlers.
Yeah.
Originally is what he made it for.
Mm-hmm. Stuff is cool. Here we go. Here comes Lance. He's our chassis guy who likes to design his own stuff. So this should look pretty familiar. Vittorio, what are your thoughts? But so Lance is doing
Oh, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Lance, is this pinion to two idlers to one to the spur gear? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It'd have to be, right?
Like, yeah, there's a
Isn't
big you got
Josh?
the spur gear, there's a couple idlers, and then the two idlers, then the pinion.
Yeah.
Jake was explaining to me like that to change the pinion, the pinion gear, you have to change the idlers. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Where the all of those holes where those mount are there, right? So you're not
Yeah.
changing. You'd have to move. You'd have to adjust the motor position
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to change pinions without.
I was trying to mess around with making something like that for my car before we went to Japan, and I haven't seen the GRK5 in person yet to see like how low the motor is, but everything I could make, it seems the motor's so high, like however they made everything in there is packaged so tight and the motor's so much lower. It's not even, I'm sure you could recreate it, but you'd be making a lot of stuff for the rear end.
Yeah, and that's what Lance is experimenting with here, like full rear shock tower, full.
Yeah.
And then this is also his GRK bottom chassis as well.
Mm.
The DDSS front. Josh doing cool stuff too. I cheated with a 1 gearbox going to a double idler and lower motor. Oh, is that the beast mode Kazama style?
I love this hobby because of the
Karachi,
just
no.
the spread of people that we have in here. Like I don't ever think about anything like this, and then there's like 4 or 5 people that have posted in the chat right now that are all just like all on the same page on like idlers and doing all this stuff, transfers and motors and all this shit. It's pretty hilarious.
Okay, so we got Vittorio here. Is this just a fancy GS2?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he was just building that. He's in here. Tell us about it, Vito.
It's just a normal chassis. I can imagine that. All the bodies, man, all the bodies.
Yeah, Vittorio's
One lucky guy.
shell collection is pretty heavy hitting.
Hey, Vittorio, can I like dibs one of your bodies if you ever give those away?
How many slide bodies do you have, Vito?
And the adjustable rear shock tower. All the cool stuff.
Yeah. So you just have this yellow one now?
So much work.
Dang.
We are going to get Keith on the Slide Customs.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of timing. We'll have to do like a day show on like Saturday or something.
Any word from Scale Magic?
We were having issues with scheduling.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay, last one, and unless someone posts some more, we got Purple Mako here. Here we go. Do you guys care about like matching the motor wires, the ESC wires?
I've done it as like an accent color, but matching. I don't like too many things matching like that. I like a little bit of contrast.
Well, I like the sleeving, right?
Yeah,
Like sleeving's cool to me.
yeah.
This seems, I don't know.
That's not his Occupant stuff. It just ruined the warranty.
Yes, he did. It gives more HP. No, that Onisiki capacitor will keep your car on for a while. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. My God, I can't say it. Pinion and spur gear. Look at that right now.
Oh
Holy
boy,
cow.
little guy.
He needs all the FDR. Although, thanks for pointing
That would
that
be the
out.
other way around, right?
We've got too long of screws coming through the spur gear.
Clearance is clearance, Clarence.
Belt drive.
I don't like how all the electronics in the rear are like all askew. Like the ESC is way off to one side. Hopefully he's balancing that on purpose.
Well, so that's AccuVance life, right? Because it's shifted to one side. Because it is shifted to one side. Wait, where are the buttons at? Oh, the buttons are on the bottom. Okay. Dow has nothing to post to roast my rig.
The buttons would be on the left, would they not?
No, they're on the bottom. So they're just shifted over because of the wire. I've been thinking of turning my
I'm
Shark
not
back
digging the wire
into
pathing.
4-gear. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I'm being
Oh, you're
preventative
right. They're in the bottom.
because I don't have an extra idler here.
I would like to. Okay, so this is a little bit of a hot take, I guess. It'd be interesting if someone were to like repackage an ESC, like with the intention that it's mounted in the rear like that, because like everyone's mounting them on the rear with the terminals pointing like out and away, where you know you can move some things around and have it so that it's a more clean run for the wires. Have the wires just repackage it a little bit. Maybe that you could have like a rear mount ESC specific, just so that the connection's a little cleaner.
I mean, I've taken my wires off and put them at 90 degrees to the ESC.
Yeah, that's doable.
And even more so because of the way that it's
But
angled.
like with the AccuVance stuff, right? The buttons are on, they're 90 degrees to the wires. So
yeah.
like the best layout for that, if you're gonna do it, would be the wires coming out the back going 90 degrees instead of on the side, because it does that. You look at that other car, the wire runs are always kind of crazy because they're coming out straight out and then on the side, and you have to get them around everything.
Vittorio, your brightness on your pictures are too dark. Do it like Vittorio and mount it backwards. Like
I'll have
that.
to check that out.
Like that.
I don't notice everything.
It all just kind of blends in.
Oh yeah, I can't see that. You ever heard of exposure, buddy?
The mounting plate is
Which
the
one?
heat sink.
Which one, Vittoria? The R? Oh, I see.
Oh. Hey, look. A brighter picture.
Oh, cool. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
that. How's it attached? Is it just like stuck to? Obviously, no fan. Or do you have a fan?
No idea.
That's good.
Answers. Vittorio, answers.
And I'm
Hey,
trying
faster!
Fan mount is where it's taped.
Got you. On like the pyramid.
So, well, no, because it's probably an XX.
XX, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a rad guy.
You don't want to pay
But I could
the.
totally make like an adapter mount to make an upside down ESC mount. That'd be cool.
Vittorio,
There you go.
what is this? Is
One
this?
wire is longer than the other.
It's like this is the winning formula right here.
See, isn't that just like so much better than having wires going backwards and then back around?
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Although I'd probably rotate the motor so that the terminals were on the top. That's just my own personal preference, I guess.
But then you have to worry about your motor wires getting caught into the pinion gear.
Nah, it'll be fine.
It-
Make them short
that's
enough,
funny-
it'll be fine.
Carrie, isn't your chassis mounted like that? Your motor?
Yep.
OCG, bro.
Terminals on top?
Terminals on top.
These terminals weigh like 3 grams.
Except if I mounted my ESC like that, the wires wouldn't twist over. 'Cause the terminals are swapped backwards.
Oops.
Or you could just solder your wires from the bottom. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable taking wires off an AccuVan CSC. I haven't gone the full Monty and flipped the things around. I guess it's probably not that bad.
That's pretty bold.
I haven't gone full empty PCB yet.
I like it. That's clean. I like it. What I don't like is this. So is this the overdosed fan mount that already costs like $40?
People will fucking bolt that thing to anything, dude. It's kind of crazy.
No. So
yeah.
the fan mount is bolted to the fan shroud or the fan, whatever you want to call it, the fan plate. So that's like $80 just right there of like nothing.
Those
Isn't this
fan
Junta's car?
covers-
So it's you know.
Is it Junta's car?
Those OD fan covers in Japan were $20.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's why they're able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, because does the rad and does the XX have the diode on the bottom of the positive and negative terminals?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wonder if he took that off or if he's just going around it some way somehow. Because I think those would get in the way.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of just sending it, huh?
Yeah.
That's a no-fly zone for me, dude. I'll blow that thing up in a month.
Junta runs RPX2. Thanks, Dow. Oh, look.
Got him.
Doesn't- Battery plates. The battery tray.
Honestly, I prefer this over the fancy one. But what's even more
Yeah,
interesting,
but that's not full option, bro.
but what's even more interesting is that this is a hanging battery tray. So he has the major multi-hull option on the top, and then the one on the bottom too. That's cool. I think
So it kind of sandwiches the battery.
Well, yeah, but it's not on the lower deck, so the lower decks can probably flex more. I dig it. I need to do that. I don't have another battery plate though. I'll figure something out. That's cool though.
You want to borrow one for a little bit? I got a paperweight.
He has a whole ass spare. He bought a car. He bought a Golem and then upgraded it so much that he still has a Golem.
No. I ran into the same exact problem. I bought a Golem, and then I built a Yogi out of it, and
Turned
still
into 2 Golems.
yeah. And now James has the rest of the other Golem. All right, you guys. It is 9:01. It is time. Kari and Brian, thanks for coming on the show. It's been fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you guys?
Good to meet you guys. Hopefully we can drive in person sooner than later.
Yep.
Can you guys tell us where we can find you on the social webs?
Freshgoods. I should know this. Yeah.
250.
Freshgoods 250. I thought that was a NASCAR race at one point.
Yeah. Freshgoods 250 is our team page, and then all of our personal pages are listed in the bio there.
Right
I'm
on.
gonna spam follow right now.
Yeah, and we should have
Ooh, Brian already follows me. Good, nice.
some footage coming up from the Japan trip here pretty quick. So
Sick.
there'll be some stuff from that, and just trying to get over the jet lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys have only been back for like 2 days, right?
Yeah, I woke up this morning at like 2 a.m. wide awake. I was up 2 a.m. and I was up till like 11 o'clock this morning, and then fell back asleep for a few hours, and on a whole weird schedule right now.
All over the place.
Worth it.
Absolutely.
Dow is pointing out that it has to be attached to the lower deck. The lower deck is split. Okay, fine. Just ruin all that. Anyway, preview for next week. Logan, I think you're going to be in charge of this one. Team Heartbreak.
Oh, the boys. Team Heartbreak, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Sacramento gang. Rolling Garage. Corolla gang. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Corolla Gang. I think
Hector finally gets come back on the podcast. We'll have Jordan, Mr. J Bars, Mr. TQ at Worlds, Mr. IRCDF champion, done winning all of their regional rounds at Pit Stop, and brand new Rev D driver. So we'll have Hector and Jordan and Josh, our boy Josh Whitwer.
are they going to be on the same camera, or do I need to?
I have no idea. Hector. Maybe they'll all just be at Hector's house. That'd be ideal.
I mean, it would, because then I wouldn't have to add another block, which we're already like short on space here.
Hector probably has a full podcast studio in his casita, if I had to guess.
You just use the word casita.
That's what it's called, dude. We're casita boys.
Yeah. Okay.
See, he said I do. I told you.
All right, you guys. So if you're down for that, we'll see you next week. If you made it this far, do that whole like, share, and subscribe thing. JDM Cookies, see any
Real quick.
What was that?
The one thing that DJ and Dr. H and myself have in common with Junta and Rio and Ito and whoever else went on that last overdose trip, we're all casita boys. We're part of a very limited group of people that have stayed in the casita at Hector's house. So
Got
pretty cool.
another kickflip. DJ.
I know. I just saw that. It just popped up.
Okay, last question for you guys. Did you see any of the Kyosho phaser, drift phaser in Japan?
No.
Oh
Nothing.
wow, that's
They weren't even on the. I didn't see any on the shelves at all.
No.
Huh. So they're literally just not even available yet.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, all of the US like RC guys have them, like as far as like the reviewers. I know that Harley Designs, I think, has one, and I think Scale Builders Guild has one as well. And for some reason, they were shipping them with like Dodge Challenger bodies, something like that.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
It was
For
like,
your local scale takeover.
yeah.
Could
Hey, you guys.
Could you pick a car that's like more opposite from an 86? What the fuck?
Nailed it.
Anyway, it'll be cool to see those come out. Yeah, I'm excited. I got to build a kaiju first, so that'll be coming.
Yeah,
down
those
the
are
road.
cool. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be just awesome.
Yeah, something easy to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for real, guys, kicking it off. Yeah, Brian, Kari, just hang out for a little bit, and you guys have a good week. Later.
Night, y'all. Thanks for watching.
See ya.